It says acknowledgements, yes. This is the beginning part.
I'm a social media ambassador for Temple's landing pages. So.
Yeah, so no, I mean, I just set up the live. This is just a live stream.
Okay, it's live. Thank you.
Oh, you moved it? Oh, okay. I thought you were telling me something. Oh. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. But I don't have like. They do, but their contact number is like they're during business hours. Like we can't find their call us after hours.
I sent an email to the director person, so
Let me stand up. Oh, is this one of the thingies that they have to? That's so.
It's really not. When they like reach out to each other,
Right, and they can't sit. They can't pick where they want to sit. Like they're going from front to back.
That is true. Yeah. And I'll just feel like that was just there. Wow. That's the second time today. It's like I forgot how to walk. I'm gonna get you. I don't know. I'm sitting next to a man. How are y'all doing? Good? Yeah?
I still got my pair from like 2017. And I don't know. They got blue, green,
So it should be under 6.
no, I saw you.
Kind of neat. International Diversity's 12 followers, 5 subscribers. That's okay.
I want to get my hair done. He was like, girl, this is enough enough. I'm like, I don't know. You doing my hair? Okay. Ain't figured it out yet. I keep saying this. Like, I told myself last time, like, until I, like, raise my blood pressure. And now I'm like, maybe that's not what I should do. When I did my presentation program at Temple, this guy, Rayford, he was carrying his stuff. He was walking around. I'm like, is this a refrigerator? She was really kind of, you gotta be like, probably like 600 food snacks, 700 sodas of ramen, a phone call. No, I really want your time. Maybe you get there and live next to it.
Who are the ushers again? If we can get the ushers in place, we are going to open up the doors in a moment. So, usher folks, and don't forget usher folks, have that, I'll make sure look on your face.
I just gotta take my mask down.
I see you over there. Go ahead. Here. Oh, okay. Like text me so they can see me in the live. ready?
Ready? We good
Let's
to go?
do it.
All right.
So people are coming in this side?
On that side, yep.
Okay. But there's ushers over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Take this one right here. It should be over here as well.
Okay.
Ready to run? You don't have to run. Just come over.
There's no need to
No,
run.
please don't run. Don't run. You don't have to run, I promise. There's plenty of seats. Not in the reserved areas, please. You should have been sitting in your reserved seat.
Well, but you won't be able to take your bike with you. There's no plus one.
Well, look, you in the front still anyway. That's okay. On the stage.
Right. I don't know which one. We're gonna ask her. That's not-
It's like perfectly dim.
It's okay. They can go to either side. Yeah. Not a problem.
Okay, so these ones are on reserve. mother provides.
You're making it look so pretty.
Yeah, that's a rush job. At this point, it's not bad. Like it feels good, but like my natural body wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning now. If possible, just fill in.
There are some seats if you wanted to sit up there. You can sit right
That's crazy. No, over here you mean? Okay,
I don't think
Those are reserved.
Oh, you better.
I'm gonna just have to see what happens when she sits there. All right, that's better. Is that better?
Thank you for moving. I understand, but you have such a beautiful head. It's right there. She got a perfect low ponytail.
Oh, okay. Duly noted.
Exact same idea. Exact same idea.
Settle down here.
Yeah. Yeah, I was debating on bringing a live stream and then walking up here, but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it really swivels like that. It's just a stand. Yeah.
They can like fill in the blank.
Yeah. There's 5 people on it.
Hey everybody! Who's excited?
That was it.
Can we try that again? Who's excited? Better. Alright, so we're gonna start with a little video. How many of y'all have seen Pose? Alright, so this is gonna be some of the best from season 1. And pay attention because there might be a quiz.
That was great.
Well, maybe we should do an episode. Maybe your daddy can help us out this year. How dare you? I'm not some white girl told you I got a limited American Express card in my Gucci bag. You girls never think about how hard I work. You never see my burden. All you see are the jewels and the furs, and you think I live some high life. But you don't know that he counts everything he gives to me. Every single cent. Every single goddamn gift. And anything I manage to steal away goes to abundance. The rent, the lights, the food. Girls, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get in a bad mood, particularly around the holiday. But why should I take that out on you? You're stupid, but not incapable. Let's get going. Mother has a plan to deck these fucking halls. That's why we hit the bucket up on Madison. Every dollar one of those rich Upper East Side bitches put in that bucket is a gift back to themselves. Wipes away all the guilt they feel about spending all that money on silliness to put under their tree. Wait, but isn't this money supposed to go to like starving kids or something? If we ain't charity, then who is? When is the last time you had a present under the Christmas tree?
Exactly. Fuck Barbie. They had Olympic Barbie, Malibu Barbie, Dr. Barbie, all kinds of Barbies, but they only had one black Barbie, Christy, and she was still built like a white girl.
We go to Bloomingdale's and not that cheap shit.
Oh yes, absolutely. All of your Christmas dreams will come true. That's $2,300. More than enough for a deposit for my surgery. You can sign me up.
I don't even know why I'm helping you, considering the cold I got on Christmas.
Stop playing the martyr. You're my daughter, and daughters live to serve their mothers. Little do you know that you contributed to something monumental in my life. I was planning on getting my transsexualism operation. I saved all my money and was sure I was ready to go under. I must confess. Children, mother lost her way. I forgot that I was a unicorn. My man wants me just as I am, and so do I. Why mess with perfection?
This is the image I want to project.
That image is shattered and distorted. If you're going to serve a look, it must be suited to you. It must be streamlined and flattering. Most of all, it must be real.
As real as that wig on your head?
Real. These legs are real. These cheekbones are real. This whistled waist is real. I will never judge a girl for enhancements, but they need to convince a skeptical audience searching for falsities. And you are convincing. No. If you walk out that door, you might as well be walking as an evangelista because I only raise winners. As predicted. What a catastrophe.
I'm done. Can't do this in one quit.
You can't quit when you've already been fired, bitch.
You'll have a team of the best taking care of you, including me.
I've always had him by my side taking care of me. I've been with him for 10 years. That's rare. Do you know what I'm giving up to come through this?
I can only imagine the sacrifices you've made to be here. But it's never a bad decision to choose yourself. You will feel free.
I'm ready. where you belong with the rest of the city bourbon. You think I just woke up one day and poof, I look like this? No, it takes work, drive, sacrifice to be a woman. You have something rarer than beauty. You have heart, and you're not afraid to lead with it. That quality will get you everything. You're coming home with mother. Check, please.
Wait, you want to be with my mother?
No. I am your mother.
Selector, you have a visitor. Is now a good time?
Good time. More like it's about time. What the fuck are you doing?
Stare, Papa.
No problem. That's just the way she speaks when she's happy.
She can stay. As the world turns us over and television is a wasteland until the evening news.
You're rich, you're beautiful, you pass. You think that makes you better than us?
Because I am. I have always been a survivor. I wouldn't bet against me.
I pity you. Life comes for all of us on the trip.
I'll call a nurse to get a vase for those flowers, even though they're from a deli.
So how does it feel?
It hurts worse than I ever imagined. But it also feels better than I ever dreamed. Look who we have here. My victorious children.
What's all this?
Just a little welcome home feast for my children who think so well of me that they abandoned me after I've undergone one of the most monumental operations a woman had ever had. At first, I must admit, I was feeling so much in my recovery suite that I ran a fever. But then I realized, thanks to some guidance from an old friend, that I was getting all of the love and attention I deserved. None. I gave you children nothing and expected everything in return. I'm a hard bitch, but mothers aren't supposed to be hard all the time. They need to spread the sugar around sometimes.
That don't look like sugar.
I know I've lost your trust. I'm going to earn it back the best way we, the House of Abundance, knows how. We will be triumphant at the Mother's Day Ball. Lamar, rap, please.
Bitch, what got into you?
Each of my children will be draped in luxurious spider-webs. Cannot wait for our triumphant return to the stage. We are well on our way to being the greatest of all time. And the way to do that is to crush our enemies until their bones are dust and their names are forgotten. Starting with those upstarts, Evangelista. Bye-bye, brick. finding another girl who looks like me. You're lucky I believe in second chances. What? I can't enter my own abode without you children gawking at me?
Hey, that's the girls' room. Where are we supposed to sleep?
We have futons. Or fold up some blankets and make a bed on the floor. You have a brain, use it. I pay the rent here. I'm exercising my independence.
He finally threw you out?
We had a small lover spat, and now I'm giving him an opportunity to miss me. Don't worry, children. Mother would never let a single man be in charge of her destiny. I have my fingers in many pots around this city.
Is that what they call being a slut now?
Shut the fuck up! I'm sure Mr. Ford will come to his senses by the end of the week. And until then, there are a few rules I'd like to institute to ensure that my stay here is up to par with my standards of living. Rule number 1, no sucking your teeth. Rule number 2, only mother smokes in the house. No gum chewing, no late night music, no sleeping in after 1 p.m. Well, make mother another drink. What do you mean indignant?
This says we're 2 months behind on rent.
So what? I'm a little late on payments.
Listen, I'm leaving.
Fools, where will you go? What will you do? I'll start my own house.
That's the gag of all gags. We're having lunch. I cannot work in the circus industry. Dance at show off. I do not have the same skills or common personality. Dance with the emotions speak. What is this? I just think so. I don't understand how to operate a company. Just say it as you be a man position. All you gotta do is be free and just Excuse me. I heard you're hiring for lead hostess and you're looking for upscale dignified women.
That is correct.
Electra Abundance. May I please have an application?
Of course. Follow me.
I assume you have a reservation.
Looks like you're moving up in the world, girl.
By the looks of it, we both are. You're clearly hard of hearing. Unless you have a reservation this evening, you will not be seated. Period. And for future reference, Indochine does not cater to the bridge and tunnel crowd. Apparently, I'm the only one who dresses for dinner in this house. Don't you have linen napkins? These utensils don't match.
Okay, before y'all dig in, I have to share some very exciting news.
This is a party.
Audition for I'll Be Sure's next video.
What? I love I'll Be Sure. Holy shit, he's the one that gave our time. Dick and I made love to him at least twice a week. Ooh, nothing or no one is a panty dropper like I'll Be Sure. And I say fast. Blonde, this is the big time you have been dreaming about for your children. Perhaps you are unfamiliar with I'll Be Sure's music. I have to take my purse.
I can't have this coming from you.
I have never known you to back down from a battle. But before you do that, let me check some bitches. And Blanca, you have always been my heart.
What are you doing here?
Didn't you hear the news? I'm working with the House of Evangelista to help them win a trophy or 10, but mostly to destroy you. Aphrodite, I've got no beef with you. You may go and stay if you don't mind the sight of blood.
I've got nowhere to be.
Good. Then you can hear the disappointment in my voice as I count up the ways in which I've clearly failed as a mother. Look at the fruits of my labor. A foolhardy chump who makes her living on the pole, and a brainless wonder who thinks the way to get curves
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. There we go. How you doing? My name is Emil Holland, and I have the special honor of introducing our moderator. But before we do that, I would like to acknowledge the land on which we stand, the land of the William and Lenape people. The land stretches from Staten Island all the way down to the Delaware shores, and it encased 3 tribes of people, and their culture and their sacrifices are still alive with us today. We also would like to acknowledge the conflict going on in Israel and Palestine and the lives lost, and we hope that that fight brings us to a community where we can all exist together. Now, you probably can see there are 3 chairs up the front, and we are doing that to honor the ancestors who have gone on before us. So the 3 ancestors being honored are past president, Ms. Joanne Epps, O'Shea Sibley, as well as Dr. Teresa A. Powell. O'Shea Sibley was a professional dancer from North Philadelphia and expressed himself through dancing, also known as voguing. He was tragically murdered for being who he was in July at a gas station in New York. And we hope that from yesterday at the drag show, if any of you attended, as well as this conversation, that his legacy lives on. We then honor, like I said, Dr. Teresa A. Powell, who was the Vice President of Student Affairs and became a very strong champion for equality and gender equity. And we also acknowledge our past president, Ms. Joanne Epps, who passed on recently, who was also a very strong advocate for equity, leadership, as well as equality. All right? So, thank you. And we hope that through all of their sacrifices, all of their work, and their legacies, that we can continue to make a better community for all of us. All right? So, with all that being said, I will now introduce our moderator. It is our very own Dr. Nurani Pratt. Yes. Dr. Pratt is the Director of Student Engagement for the Institutional Diversity, Equity, Advocacy, and Leadership Office, also known as IDEAL here on campus. He is a champion for social justice as well as gender equality and gender equity and rights, as well as understanding the relationship that we all have with each other and building spaces where we can communicate and say things and express who we are without any challenges or any backlash. He is also a proud member of Alpha Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, a shameless little plug, and he is also an all-around champion for gender rights and equality. With that being said, please welcome my friend, my mentor, Dr. Nurani Pratt.
All right. Oh, it works. Okay. Nice. How are y'all this evening? Nice. Thank you all so much. And on behalf of Institutional Diversity, we want to thank each of you for coming out to this event, as well as any other event that you have attended, such as this drag show or the festival throughout this week. So thank you very much, for showing out, showing your pride, and being unapologetic as well, too. So are you all ready? For our fabulous speaker tonight. Nice. So before she comes in, I have the pleasure of reading her bio to welcome her in, and then we're going to have a wonderful little kiki section, for a moment, okay? So Dominique Jackson is our selected iconic speaker for this year. So Ms. Jackson was born on the smaller island of the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. After enduring intolerance, discrimination, and prejudice during her school years, Ms. Jackson moved to New York City. Any New York City folks in here? Okay. This is where she happened to become a member of the underground house and ball community. The New York City LGBTQ entertainment circle and the pageantry system, winning 6 crowns and titles while competing locally and nationally. A leader in her community, Ms. Jackson has been awarded several accolades and was also inducted into the House and Ballroom Hall of Fame. A fashion model since 2000, Jackson began her career at Brooklyn Fashion Week before moving on to Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week. That's bougie, right? Very bougie. In 2014, Jackson released her autobiographical memoir, The Transsexual from Tobago. As an actress, Dominique has starred in Color Pregnance and Congruence, Oxygen Network's GLAAD award-winning reality docuseries Strut, and the short film Tea Times. In 2018, Jackson began appearing in a leading role on a show that we are all aware of, but of course, due to the strike, we're not going to say it out loud. That's going on. And she played a very, very famous and well-known character within place. So, without further ado, please help me in welcoming a model, an actress, an advocate, an activist. And if y'all didn't know, we're best friends, and we coordinated today with our outfit. So y'all weren't ready for that, were you?
Well, first, I have to say thank you all so much for that. Wow, that entrance was all you all. So give yourselves a round of applause. With the bio.
Okay.
And that is that actually I moved to Baltimore. I lived in Owings Mills, Maryland.
Oh,
and went to Owings Mills High School. Right? And I had a little stint at Morgan State. And then I went to Fayetteville State University as I lived on Polk Air Force Base.
nice.
And that's when after that I took it to New York because that's where it felt like there was safety. And yeah.
Very nice. Okay. Come on, I stand corrected. We're gonna shred that, and redo it for you. Okay, on there. But we want to thank you again for coming and being with us tonight. So I have a few questions. How we're going to do the run of the night is there are a few questions that we're going to converse on, and then in a few moments we're going to allow a little bit of time for us to have a brief Q&A, and then we're going to say this was a fabulous night. Once it is all done. But that's right. So Dominique, before I even begin with some of the deeper questions, and you might say this is a deep question too, I'm curious to know what you might say inspires you to be your unapologetic and authentic self.
Well, I don't have a choice. Because the other option is to be someone that I'm not. It's to conform to what the construct is, and that is to live the life that other people feel comfortable with me living, and that is not for me. That made me feel imprisoned. It was like I am, non-existent. And for me to be me and enjoy my life, I had to fight against all the obstacles, all the conforming to the get up on Monday and do this and do that. I had to fight against all of that to be able to be me. I wanted to live free, even though society attempted and would attempt and still attempts to imprison me.
I told y'all. Just a really quick follow-up for you. What does being free mean for you? What does that mean?
For me, being free, and this may sound a little crazy to some of you, but that's okay, I have therapists. To me, being free is having the ability to be able to be me, to think the way I do, to express myself and present the way that I do without bringing harm to others. knowing that there are other people that would want to put me in that cage, put me in that box, but still being so strong in me, still being so strong and affirmed in what I see in the mirror every time I wake up, right? And God gives me that strength, and I'm going to take it to church with black men. And every time, every morning I wake up, I'm not worried about, you know, the fact that people, that politicians are trying to put legislation out there to erase me. See, that makes me realize that I am seen. I'm seen so much that you're so scared you have to silence me. You have to try to. And therefore that gives me even more motivation to be in your face. And in your face in a sense that I am so respectful. I am so beyond your level that you will never be able to say, oh, here's another frustrated black trans immigrant woman. You will never be able to say that. What you will say is, okay, you got your card.
So that's the energy you go in with, huh? You're just like, I'm not here for the, you know.
You have to start thinking from the perspective and with the energy, and you can't, and there's a thin line between, very thin line between confidence and conceit, right? But you have to walk into spaces, not from this essence that we have been taught, right? And God bless our ancestors, thank you for them and everything, but we have to evolve, we have to grow from the experiences that they have had. So now we have to walk into spaces, right, unapologetically ready to take on any task, right? So that means you walk in and they have to impress you. Why do you want to go to this school? Why do you want to work here? Not you going begging, oh, hey, can I have the job? Listen, check your list. You have the credentials, you have the ability, you have the know-how, you know the job. So you are an asset to that. And that's how I started to see myself. No matter what other people said, I am an asset to this world.
I appreciate that. You know, as you continue to say things, I'm just pulling out of my bag and asking you all kind of follow-up questions that weren't even on the list. You know, but let me get back to the list. You know, and ask you. You hit on this, you know, really well, Dominique, about this notion of coming out. I'm curious to know from you if you want to add anything additional to what does it mean to you for this process of coming out or inviting others in? What does that mean for you?
So I like how you put that inviting others in, right? Because when we say coming out, and you just woke me up in a second, right?
Okay.
Just that split second, and this is how life is. You will learn at all times. Coming out is almost like, hey, I'm telling you I'm here, right? Inviting them in is saying, I am here, you come find out, right? So for me, as I hear people talk of coming out stories and stuff, I must say this. You can only come out or tell the world who you are when you are prepared from within, right? You have to be ready for it. So you, and the most important thing about that is that you have to know that you are safe. It's not about, oh, come out, it's in numbers and we're gonna do this. No, there are people out here that are, some of us will burn the lawn. Some of us will sit at the table, and some of us will take it over. But all of us have to remember to always stay together.
Because when we stay together, we build community, right? And that community is really, really, really important.
Wait.
Go for it. Go for it.
I don't think that coming out is necessarily something that everyone should do, because our world should, because you don't have to come out and say you're a cis girl.
Right.
You don't have to come out and say you're a cis man. So why is it so important for us to inform you so that you can tell us if you approve of us? No. From now on, we are inviting you to our experience. If you want to be here, then you're here. If not,
answered my second part of that about system, and you basically just said, if you ain't with it, you gotta go. You can hit the door. That's basically what I translated to
Why
it.
should we waste time on folks that are adamant in our demise? Right? It's unnecessary. It's a waste of time. It's like I say to folks, right? We get up in the morning sometimes and we say to ourselves, I would never ... I could never ... We live in a negative space at our times, and it's a part of our culture. We see each other and go, look at her, she thinks she look good. Guess what? They say she thinks she look good, but guess what? She knows she does.
Yes.
So what happens is now we negative talk. And if she's not strong enough, that negative talk will take her from that confidence that she put on that synthetic wig in the morning and walked outside. So one is going and plastering stuff on her forehead with big ass curtains.
You're good. Okay, so Miss Jackson, our theme this year for National Coming Out Week, actually this is the 15th year that Temple University has celebrated this week. And we found it very fitting as a committee to give the theme Iconic Pride, to celebrate that notion of pride at Temple. So the question I have for you is, who or what comes to mind when it comes to this notion of iconic pride from your point of view?
Well, I will tell y'all this. When they first told me about this iconic pride, I was stumped. A girl was like, what? Iconic pride? How am I supposed to think about that? But then I thought of Sylvia Rivera.
Yes,
Marsha
yes,
B. Johnson.
yes, yes,
Bayard
yes,
Rustin.
yes, yes.
Paris Dupree.
Yes.
Avis Pendarvis. Dorian Corey. Pepper Beige. And if you don't know them, look them up. That's right. Hector Extravaganza. So I feel like we have something that we can feel is worldwide respected and acknowledged. That is our pride. That is our sense of saying we gather and it's us. So every time we show up for pride, whether you go to the parade or you just show up as yourself, and remember, pride is 365 days.
Yes. Okay. No, you said what you need to say, but you know,
I'm getting older.
Okay.
Look good.
Yeah.
I say black don't crack. You know, okay, all right. Because I said moisturizer. So, I got a follow-up question here. Is why do you feel? I want to get into the weeds with this one a little bit more. Why do you feel it is critical to honor LGBTQ plus Black and brown iconic figures, whether they are historical or current? You named quite a few of them a moment ago. Why do you feel that's so important?
Because they are a part of the world. They are a part of the progress of this world. They are a movement, right? And we cannot deny it. Denying them is like denying Martin Luther King. And I know we have denied that for so long.
Right.
But we have to step into our position. Like, thank God we now call it Indigenous Peoples Day and not Columbus.
Yes,
So, and I think that pride is so iconic, it should be a national holiday. Because of all the struggles, all the stuff that we have had to go through. Right now, we have 19 trans people murdered for the year, right? And that may not sound like a lot to some people coming from other communities of a wider scale, but just remember, that's also 19 more Black people that have been murdered.
Yes.
And remember, these murders are not for anything other than people being afraid to see us in our truth, being threatened by it. So our iconic figures should be idolized. We should have that. And it should be sealed. Because then people like myself, people like you, your children will have something to look up to, have something to celebrate, will have an understanding of the struggle it took for us to walk around around the way we are without being murdered.
It's the look that you give. You're just like, that hit it, didn't it? Over here. It did, sis. You hit it really well. So let's move, because I really like that. And if I was just even sum up to what you said, what I took from what was just mentioned, representation and visibility is a really key and important thing. And it's too often that Black and brown folks fall victim of erasure. When it comes to things as well too. So I appreciate, you really going very global with how this could affect people for future generations too on there. So, okay, all right. Let's go into your whole acting, career and stuff too. As an actress, y'all know she's an actress. Yes. So, let's say as an actress and a very eloquently spoken social justice advocate, why do you feel, I heard you smile over there. Why do you feel it is critical to have positive trans representation in media despite many of politicians' actions that are occurring nowadays? Now, you hit on this a little bit earlier, but why do you feel it's important?
Well, it's basic. We're human, right? And we're part of life. And if we had representation, a lot of these kids would not have lost their life. If we had, when you see something on television, it kind of sets the mold, right? And they give us the idea of how it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to look like. So for a very long time, we burnt our hair and wore wigs because we did not see anyone that looked like us. We couldn't do that and think that we would be models. So it's extremely important for us to have this representation so that people know it's okay to be yourself. That's what it is. It's just as simple. You're a human being. You're a part of this world. You have a story, and your story needs to be told. Our stories need to be told. So we shouldn't wake up in the morning and see stories of others that we don't relate to at all, and then we try to force ourselves to fit into that. We need to see stories that we belong to.
I was going to ask you a question about alternative news, but I'm not going to even go there for it, because you might go in on that. So no. If I expand, okay, so there's a show, a very famous show that folks in this room know about in here. And we know what we're talking about, when we say this show, right? I want to ask you a question about the iconic status of this show within its own realm, of existence. Can you share with us what really inspired you in your portrayal of this role in such a flawless and authentic manner? You could read folks like the first episode. It was just like, oh my God. And I was just like, so what did you channel to get that going?
I paid attention to those that came before me. I sat at a bar called Two Potato, and and Paris Dupree would come in and do this song In My Eyes, and then she would sit at the bar and drink 151 and Coke. And that. And look, we had issues back then. And I would drink a Royal Curve. And she would tell me about Dorian Corey and Avis Pendarvis. And I would say to myself, why is this woman talking to me? Like, you're old. And then I thought, and I always think, because my grandmother is very influential in my life, and I thought to myself, listen, Dominique, listen. And so others around would go, oh, here you go, you're getting drunk with the old folks. And I'm like, one day we hope to be there. And when I got the sides for the show, I never talked to myself again. But it was the vision of Paris Dupree sitting at that bar almost 20 years prior, telling me about how these women behave. It was about me admiring Octavia St. Laurent and Daniel Revlon, Modavia LaBeija, Tanae Pendavis, Carmen Extravaganza, God bless her soul. As these women seem to float on air. Now, mind you, they might have lived in some might have lived in the project. Some might not have had a lot. But when they showed up, they showed up. Passability back then was about being so much of it that you could not be denied. So what I did is I remembered these things, right? And I thought to myself, how can I pay homage to all that has been given to me? Because in the moment of getting the script, I saw where my community was actually being acknowledged. I saw where the visibility was coming, and I thought to myself, oh snap, you prayed for this, but it's really an opportunity that you have. So all the things you wanted to change and thought you could change, well girl, now here it is in front of you. So, night after night, all day, because at the time I was going through a bit of agoraphobia, but my surgery, my happy surgery, made me, in a space to get things done. And I sat and I learned every line, word for word. I embodied Octavia as she floated down the runway, not having to do much and then smiling. I embodied Danielle as she said, "Don't speak to me, beast." I embodied all of these women because I said to myself, if they had this opportunity, they would not have messed with it. And so therefore, I'm going to carry this. Now I know I'm not going to get the part. There's the negative talk. I know I'm not going to get the part because, again, more negative talk. Because I didn't have the representation to tell me that where I'm from is grand. So here I am, an immigrant. I'm black. I'm trans. I'm 6'2", and I'm about to be 40. Girl, you're done. So what next? I embodied these women, and I knew that for me to feel the best me, I had to put my best foot forward. I had to go in there and be so great that I could not be denied. And so I rehearsed, and I rehearsed. The neighbors got upset, but I didn't care. I wanted out, and I was going to get my way out or be told, listen, this is not it, you have to find another route. So what I did, I got my ancestors, I stood on their shoulders. I did not dig my heels in, asking. I stood on their shoulders, accepting support. And you see the result. That's right.
I told y'all, elegant social justice advocate. You just spoke into existence what the African proverb of Sankofa means. About honoring the homage of our ancestors in order to elevate oneself into society. So thank you for that. Because I kind of, not shady question follow up here, because I want to ask you, what was your favorite drink with those elders that you were drinking on, that you talked about? What did you drink?
Well, I was drinking Royal Cur at the time.
Okay.
That champagne and shampoo. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know about that.
Okay, you see me like, okay.
And I'll put it to you like this. I'm a little bougie. I'm from Tobago, a small island. Real small, right? Like, you could drive to, I took my sister with me, she was like, oh God, the hills, where's the road? And, no, but we have roads, and no, we don't sleep in huts, and we do drink clean water. And we have planes too, because people used to, I don't know if I slammed here. But on that small island, People were very, very, very proud of who they were, who they are, and nothing could deny them. So yeah, that's where I come from.
Okay. Okay. All right. You know, because some folks, the adults in this, well, everybody's an adult in this room, you know, but the elder adults in this room, they're gonna get me later. They're gonna get me later. They're like, who is he talking to? You know, some of them have look, they are looking down at me.
Stop. Listen, we have to stop this ageist thing in society, and I have to say that because you know what, like the idea is to get older. I mean, like I don't know what, like I was on TikTok, you know. and it came down and it was like, if you're born in the 1900s, you're ancient. And I was like, wait a second, that's me? And then I thought about it. I was like, Lord, look at me. Don't shame people because they have lived a life that you hope and pray you get to live. Many are not, right? Me, at my age right now, I am 48 years old, and I am proud to say because there are so many of my sisters who could not do that. And there are many women in Hollywood now who will say, I'm not saying my age because of this, that, and I respect that. But for me, when I tell you my age, I am telling you that you can also
do it. Yeah. We go back to everything about the ancestors. You want to aspire, to where they are, and they're the role models that set things up too for it on here. So.
And I women like Grace Jones.
Okay, Grace Jones. Okay, come on.
One of my idols. Naomi, Beverly Johnson.
All of them. Let's bring them back.
And Viola. Y'all can't forget Angela Bassett.
They can't. Over here. So on this series that we were just talking about, over here, you really strongly highlighted the house and the ballroom culture in general. And the experiences of LGBTQIA plus Black and brown individuals, while also highlighting the different barriers that they face, whether it was racism, ageism, even what you just pointed out too, issues that they encompass with the HIV epidemic, during this time frame. So can you provide your point of view on how this show or series may have transformed society's understanding and visibility of the house and ballroom culture?
Well, I see when stuff goes on television, everyone's ready to trend with it. Right? Everyone's willing to take notice because guess what? If they see it in Hollywood, then it must be okay. The doors open for us. We walk through them. Many shows follow. Shows that were even sidelined before were now greenlit. Right? We became everything. I remember walking up the street from my building at the time. I was still in the hood. I was at Hunts Point, if you know what Hunts Point is. Yeah, look, you feel sorry for me, right? Remember? I lived at Hunts Point for 20 years.
All day.
Right, yeah. And, I wanted to get out. The roaches and I were not getting along. we were just not doing it. And a neighbor saw me, and she says to me, come here. Mind you, this woman has seen me all the time. She says, come here. She says, can I hug you? I was like, oh, she's trying to kill me now. But I got God. He shows up for all of us. And I hugged her and she started to cry and she started to tell me that she had not spoken to her child for a very long time because of their identification and orientation, sexual orientation. And she was bawling in tears. And she's like, last Sunday, I had them over. And I had to show them respect and I had to show them love. Because the real reason I hated them was because I never wanted them to be like me. And when she saw the show, it let her know that it was okay for her to be herself, for her to have had the experiences that she has had. When I go through airports, when I travel, I see a lot of older folk that are coming to me and go, I was involved. And I was like, and what happened? Well, guess what? I couldn't be a part of it anymore. I had a family. I couldn't let people know. I said, what couldn't you let them know? That you went to a place where you found love and support and comfort. That's what it was. And so I constantly meet people who are opening up to and mind you, the show aired 5 years ago, and we are have been off air for 2 years, and people are still watching, still coming out. Mothers and fathers and children are watching this show together. Children are using the show to invite their parents in to their existence.
Yes.
You know? So it was really shocking. It was kind of bouncy because there was the trauma of having to relive parts of my life. But then there was the beauty of seeing how it was healing others. Trans women now being respected, not being misgendered. You know, I'm walking through the street and a guy approaches me. His presentation was kind of hood, so you know, a girl was kind of like, and he leaned, no, I wasn't ready. Because guess what? I was in the space of, oh my gosh, I'm like, but I would still ride the train because nothing's going to change. I'm still going to be the same girl. You know, that's just me. And when he leaned over me, he was so aggressive that the fear hit me. And I thought to myself, oh shoot, I could lose my life. And that was the only really scary thing about it. Yes, of course, and I say of course because I apologize for normalizing it, but it's become kind of normal to me. We still get the death threats. But I know that we're getting those threats because we're so bold. We're so loud. And we're not loud in a way where we are offensive. We're saying, we are here. If you don't see it, please move 2 parking spaces down.
You just dropped your mic, your proverbial mic, on that one. But so my final question to you actually is a segue, from that, and actually connected to it too. So considering the current climate that we're living in, what advice would you give to a person that might be struggling with one or more of their identities that they're experiencing?
Well, I believe that society gaslights us a lot. And so you used the words and you said if someone is struggling with their identity, right? The only reason that a person would be struggling is because of all the force, the negative force that's coming from the outside. Because you should be able to explore everything that you're feeling, right? If you feel like, okay, you know what, I like that dress, then you should be able to wear it. And if you wear it and it goes off well, great. If it doesn't, you learn a lesson. That's just how I see it. It's just that I'm kind of weird in that because I don't look to the powers to be as power. Right? So for me, when someone is says something negative about the LGBTQIA plus community, I actually pity them. Right? I actually see it as a sense of, okay, not only did you not understand biology, God bless you, But you are just not in a space of live and let live. And we constantly ask for things that we can't give ourselves or refuse to give. Right? So the hypocrisy is always present. Yeah, be you, but don't be you where I get offended.
Right.
I don't play in that sandbox. I just can't. So people are going to have to be offended in order for me to be me.
Right.
And people will constantly be offended by you being you.
Yes.
But that should never stop you from being you.
Yep. This is tied to authenticity. To be your authentic self, you're going to have to accept that and you have to accept the glorified lovers at the same time too. So, okay. All right. Can we give the fabulous Miss Dominique Jackson? You know, in the sense of what y'all know when you do. I'm just like, okay. So,
I'm just a girl that was trying to survive and wear nice shoes.
And they're nice. You know, right, too, by the way. What we're going to do now is invite a few people up that may have some follow-up questions from the things that we've been talking about tonight. Are there any folks that would like to come? Okay, so what we're going to get you to do is you're going to line up briefly. We have a limited amount of time for the FAQ section. So what we would do is line up behind the mics right here, and we will answer or ask your question, and then we'll try to be as concise as possible for you. Yes, we're gonna go to the side, then over to this side. So we will go back and forth just for consistency. So that's why. All right, so what we would do is, we'll start over here. Feel free to introduce your name and then ask your question.
Will do. Hi, I'm Helena Herban. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you to everyone who put together this event, and thank you so much, Ms. Jackson, for coming here today. It's so exciting to have you here. Me and my friend here, we are second-year medical students from the med campus uptown, so it's really nice you guys had this and that we were able to come, and join. We're not on main campus very often. But I mean, especially we're Temple, we're kind of a science-focused school, so I imagine there's other future doctors in the room. But as to future physicians who are really passionate about queer health and LGBTQ issues within the medical community, and specifically myself a little bit frustrated with how my school is just not talking about trans health, and we are currently in our reproductive system courses, and I just don't think that they're doing justice to talking about queer health. I just wondered if you had any words of wisdom or maybe a specific experience that you've had with a doctor specifically or in the medical community that you could share with us to just inspire us to go and be the best doctors we can be.
Well, I can surely help you with that. Because darling, going to doctors, especially for trans people, is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Okay? And when you get there, especially because of some of the employees there, okay, you're now put on show. You're now a spectacle. So what we have to do is to gather more information of how to actually get us into your medical room safely. And you have to use your voice. You are the student, you are going to school, and you have to tell them, listen, we need to talk about this. You need to show them the statistics. You need to show them what is actually going on. Go to your dean. Let me tell you something. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. I sat pondering, again, negative thinking that nothing would ever happen. I will never. But I had no green card, and mom wasn't helping me. And every organization I went to said to me, well, if you're HIV positive, we can help you. If you have an AIDS diagnosis, we can help you. But guess what? You're screwed, right? So you know what I did? I drank a little. And I cried. No, that was Johnny Walker. By then I needed Johnny. And I'll put it to you like this. I picked up that phone and I called immigration. And I said, listen, I don't really know my status. I know that y'all might come and try to deport me, but I can't do anything unless I know what I need to know. So can you tell me what I need to do? pick up the phone, go into their offices, show up for what you want. Now, I did not say go in there and flip tables. Leave that part for later. All right, no. Don't have the giant walk.
Thank you.
Blue.
Good evening, Mr. Johnson. I am a disability advocate, so I want to know, as an ally and as an advocate, what can be done to make that space more inclusive for those who might be Black, disabled, and in the LGBT community, because most of the time the disabled community is forgotten. So how can we make sure, for example, the ballroom scene is accessible for those who might have Down syndrome or cerebral palsy, who might be scared to come out because of the disability, or that might be in a wheelchair. So do you have any suggestions?
My love, I commend you and thank you. And thank you for standing up and being a voice. And I will tell you this, in ballroom, we are all inclusive. Always, right? And I will also tell you this, show up. I will tell you, I stepped into spaces where I didn't believe that I was welcome. But I knew that I needed something from those spaces. And sometimes it was my own fear that stopped me from accessing these spaces, because I thought, this is how they're going to treat me. Step out. Contact someone in ballroom online. Speak to them. You know? And I'm not saying that everyone is going to be nice or will be nice, but understand that there are processes. And there is space for you everywhere. Because I believe that one thing about our communities is I loathe the fact that we have had this gay versus trans versus lesbian versus all this stuff. And then we hear people talk about, oh, the alphabet. Well, let me tell you something. Each person matters. It's not just the L, the G, the B, and that T, which actually meant two-spirited. Hello. Let's be realistic here. We all belong, right? And we all have to make space for each other. So you contact those ballroom people. Here's one right here. My sister Tabitha Gonzalez. She is already in there. Because let me tell you something about ballroom. It's not just about walking a ball, right? There's so many other components to it. And it's also about support. We become family. That is your mother. That is your father. Don't disrespect them, you'll gag. Those are your siblings, right? And I pray that all of our communities, and I believe that you are the generation that is going to build this bridge, because you are all standing in support and unity of each other.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my love.
Yeah, I just say Gen Z is supposed to be the change factor of things. So
Hope we are.
You are, yes you are, and I thank you.
Hi, I'm Kyla Miller. I'm a communications major, and I'm honored to ask a question. So nice hearing your responses. You're so eloquent.
Thanks, Kyla.
And I just wanted to ask. I know you touched a little on this earlier, but I just wanted to ask what it was like navigating the industry, I want to call it, or acting as a woman of color, and especially as a queer woman. And how you kind of overcame challenges that you faced.
Navigating was very difficult because there was a lot that I did not know. So I had to do extra research. I had to learn. There were a couple courses I did have to do online, you know, and no one told me I had to do them. I did them for myself, you know, so it was difficult. But in my opinion, right, the hardest part of navigating spaces comes from within us. We have to be prepared for everything that can happen and occur and not let it make us feel defeated. Let us understand that this is just knowledge that we're gathering. So every time I went in and I was rejected, or I realized that my transness showed up before my human, right? I had to take that step back and realize, okay, you may have the societal power, but I have the spiritual power. I own me. So I know that this is not where I stand. I can't stand here. I can't sit here. I can't lay here. So I may have to make my own space. And so I attempted to make my own space. And what happened is I ended up with a manager that actually takes care of a lot of the things for me. But a lot of times, you will still get the, oh, well, we're not looking for that specific, or the trans role may be a trans role that they need for a trans person that is not really transitioning physically, right? Those are other challenges that we have to meet. The challenges of, hey, you're a woman, but you're not. And they say it so beautifully that you don't realize they said it until you left, right? So I say to you, always be aware. Listen, don't just hear. And you're not listening to respond. You're listening to comprehend so that you know where the safe spaces for you to navigate actually lie. It's not about just rushing into everything that's open for you. Because when you're coming from marginalization and oppression, you have to be very careful how you navigate so that you stay safe and become successful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi, Dominique.
Hi, love.
I am Nia Viate Jackson, and you actually are my sister. Right? The Jackson sisters. So I'm an academic advisor here at Temple, and so I work with multitude of students, and my children are also college age, and they actually introduced me to the iconic show that you were on. But I'm from your generation, right? We share that same generation because we are sisters. And I just want to thank you, and I just want to show my appreciation, because that era, when we were going through AIDS and HIV and the discovery and not having any type of treatment or even people even caring, what just the communities were going through, especially Black and brown people of color. And I just wanted to ask you, for you during that time, how you navigated that period with losing a lot of people and feeling very invisible, not being able to get the care that we needed, just during that period of just not feeling like we mattered.
So, thank you, sister. So okay, we're gonna go a little deep here. Y'all have the time. I'm not going anywhere. During that time, that was the period that I also did not have a green card. But I will say now, in hindsight, that was the period that a woman by the name of Tyra Aloha Ross took over. That was my alter ego, the showgirl that I became, because I really couldn't face me. I had to become someone else. And not become someone else, but develop another character. See, that's why I act. I would go to a ball and see people on Sunday, and by the next ball, they were dead. I lost daughters. I lost, it was Thanksgiving of 2000. I got a phone call saying that one of my sons passed away. I had no idea he was positive. I had one daughter who was positive and only lasted 2 weeks. I got it together a little bit between 2000 and 2004. Struggled with immigration, went through the career, continued to see people passing away. And I had to fight my own battle because being molested as a child and being so slim and societal negativity, I thought I had to be positive. It wasn't until the year 2000 that I actually got tested and found out that I was negative. And that negative diagnosis was joy for me. But as I walked out into the waiting room, I saw people with positive results. And that shattered me. They weren't happy. They didn't think they had life or would have a life. I saw many of my friends turn to gift giving because someone infected them purposely. It was disastrous. There was alcohol. There were so many different drugs. I wasn't on all of them. No. But to cope, we came out at night. A lot of trans women didn't see daylight. We felt sorry for each other. We attacked each other. We couldn't understand why the outside world didn't see us, but yet we were a major fetish. The man that would not give me a job cleaning the windows because I'm trans would show up at my door at 2 o'clock in the morning and pay me half his salary before he went home to his wife and kids. But he would not see me as a human being enough to be a part of the world. That's what we went through the 80s up to 2000. You see, like all of you sitting in this front row here, yeah, I would leave here today and come back next week, and it'll probably be one of you. I was in an apartment where I was at my happiest, where I had friends that took me in, that saved my life, because I was one of those that was going to be given that gift. And so those ballroom people walked up to me and they said, "You're not sleeping with Han." They took me and they said, "You are beautiful." It was about 5 of us. And Shatira Revlon's grandmother allowed us to live in an apartment, and she paid for it because she knew we couldn't work, but yet she would curse us out every day. And of those 5 people that I shared an apartment with back in then, I am the only one that is alive. So I understand what you feel. And I deal with it by telling you. Because when I tell you, I saw your face. You were like, "So you mean to tell me that all of us could be gone?" And it's not due to gun violence. It's due to the lack of a healthcare system that didn't see you. Remember, at this time, during that AIDS pandemic, they were doing experimental drugs, but they were not allowing it, giving black and brown folk allowance to it. So we were withering away. So I get it. And thank you for being here. And thank you for speaking to this. And I want all of you to know that you may not have the gravity of the AIDS pandemic now, but research it, get to know it, learn that lesson so it is not repeated.
Thank you so much.
Hello. I'm going to let this sweet honey answer their question. I want to first say I'm glad I came tonight because I needed to hear a lot of what you said tonight. It was really important for me to be in that seat tonight. So thank you. But I have a special request. Could you let us know what house you're in?
Oh, I am the overseer of the House of Maison Margiela.
Oh,
yeah, another thing that I also understand is in order to make space for some people, you have to grow, because there will always be someone coming behind you to fill that spot. So instead of becoming mother or having that in ballroom, I've decided to take my fight outside while still being a part of ballroom and being the overseer of the house. I get to admire the growth of my sisters, my brothers, the new kids in the house. They get to have space to perform. I do not see it at all when you have icons battling newcomers for absolutely no reason. You need your space to grow.
I am Alex. Like during you were talking a lot about just being yourself and being proud of who you are and just having confidence in who you are, not just having confidence in who you are and not letting other people define your worth. I guess I just want to know how do you just have that confidence if you don't really feel like you have that confidence already?
Well, darling, no, I did not have that confidence because the world took it from me. Society took it from me. As a child, we're loved and we're cared for and we're told we're going to be fantastic and we're going to be great. And then you don't show up the way they want you to. Right? But guess what? You're unique. You matter. Your thoughts, your feelings, your existence, your being, all of that matters. So you have to show up. And sometimes you have to fight for it. And when I say fight, that fight could be on many, many, many different levels. But the first fight that you have to get over is the noise that you hear from the outside. You have to form that bubble of understanding that you know you best. You have to be accountable with yourself first. You know you best. So no, you are not an abomination. No, you're not a failure. Of course you are different. If we were all the same, it would be the Sims. So darling, enjoy each and every one of you. Enjoy your uniqueness. We live in a world and we should give each one respect. Let's give the same respect that we desire from others, but understand that that person that looks differently from you, that person that speaks differently, talks differently, acts differently, is someone you can get to know, some new thing you can learn. You can learn so much from the box that we grow up in, because I'm telling you, each of us has grown up in a box, right? With the traditions and the feelings and life experiences of our parents. And that is all great. But I got to explore. I got to meet people. And people are not all the same. And the difference to me is what is so beautiful. I think you're amazing. I think you're strong. I think you're already confident because you're here. I think that any queer person, thank you, sis, is magic. All of you.
Thank you all so much. Let's give a round of applause.
So we want to thank each and every one of you for coming out tonight. Definitely want to thank my colleagues that are in the space from Ideal, Student Activities, Student Conduct, Wellness Resource Center. All of them made this possible tonight, and it was such a magical night. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to the staff. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for having me here. Every time I get to share space with, each and every person that I get to share space with, I come away with something new. And you all have given me even more confidence. As you have given me applause, it fills me, it helps me to continue. So I always tell people, I cannot be who I am without the people that provide the support. So your love, your appreciation is really, really greatly appreciated and also very much respected. So I thank you all so much for having me.
Yes. So there's more. So if you have is it yellow? It's yellow. A yellow ticket underneath your seat. Yay! Surprise! Congratulations! You have been invited to a brief meet and greet that allows you to have a picture and such too. So, for all of the individuals that have those, we were lined up on the right side of this room, and everyone else, we want to thank you so much.
You gotta ask me, Rodney.
Have a wonderful and beautiful night. Thank you, and thank you. Thank you.